because their names were, you know, they knew him by Abiyaka or Erepako. So, you know, to me, it was a proud moment. Sam Jones is, again, he's one of those people, as my ancestors, that many don't talk about. They push the fact of Osceola, which you see, which means black drink singer. They pushed Osceola so much because they changed his history and, you know, tried to change his history in a way that says he was of mixed breed. And, you know, he said in many documents and many times, you know, that I have no European blood within me. But the reason why they push Osceola, because people falsely think that he was of a paler skin. He looks more Spaniard now versus what he looked like originally, you know, which was very dark skinned. But they pushed him, and there even some people are falsely even calling Osceola a chief. He was never a chief. He was just a warrior. The chief at the time that he fought for was my grandfather, Sam Jones, Erepaka. You know, he was a chief and a medicine man. They called him. They said that his medicine was very strong because he did a lot of things that they couldn't explain, you know, that chiefs would do, like him walking through garrisons and, you know, virtually basically unseen, or the garrison would pretend like they didn't see him. But they don't talk about Sam Jones. There's, you know, conflict and issues about what he looked like. There's no real image of him, yet there are statues of him, you know, or a remnant of a statue of him, but no pictures of him. You know, we know what he looks like. They don't really talk about this man because, you know, out of fear of, you know, bad medicine or to speak his name too much, as I was told. But he's pretty much left out of Seminole history. You know, when you go to the Seminole reservations and you go to the casinos, you see pictures of Osceola all over the place, and these are portraits. You know, these are portraits and renditions of someone else's interpretation of what he looked like. You know, one particular image of him was painted by a European artist or a German artist. I don't want to lie, but that's been the widely circulated, you know, image of Osceola. You know what I mean? And everything in history contradicts that image because, again, he looks like a Spaniard. Why would a Spanish-looking man fear capture or being, you know, targeted as a Negro slave? You know, why would he fight so hard for that? And not just for his people. He said, I would never be captured or labeled a Negro or slave. Because I'm not. You know what I mean? But they push so hard and falsify history, you know, and eventually this falsified history, if we don't stop it, will continue on as facts that he was a chief, that he was, you know, a fair skin or mixed blood. You know what I mean? It's unfair, it's unright, and people are reading these things and not making the corrections. You know what I'm saying? They're seeing the history, they're hearing his quotes and words that were given to authors and, you know what I mean, different people that he told these things to. There's very rare pictures, you know, of him being of dark hue, copper tone like us. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to identify or say and think when you look at the pictures of Billy Bowlegs and the rest of them that they have at the Seminole Reservation and the museums. You see these dark-skinned people with this, you know, funny textured hair, and I mean they're dark as night. And then you all of a sudden you got this light-skinned person that's amongst them fighting. You know, it's hard to picture that being that way. You know what I mean? It's like almost unrealistic. But again, it's not about the color aspect. It's just about being historically factual, you know, in your presentation and your truths and you know, so people can get to be able to identify a thing. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But it's still a beautiful situation.
Sam Joseph College found safety in the Everglades and he died there, true to his word never to give up his fight. To this day, the Florissant pass these names down among the warrior descendants and name children with words from the old warrior war medicine songs.